On today's episode of the Career Packs podcast, I want to talk about being late. I don't know if you're a late person or you're consistently late. I just don't like it when people are late. And I kind of give my thoughts on it. I give the good with the bad. And, it's Hoodie Neal season with a tornado that's about to come down on Chicago. So it's a great episode altogether. Lots of different moving pieces. And it's a video episode. So you guys get to see my face. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into today's episode. Hey, friends, welcome back to the Korea Pact podcast. My name is Neil Patel. I'm the host of this pod. And today, I'll make this a video episode just for y'all so y'all can see. We are coming to you with Hoodie Neal. Hold on, let me take a swig of water. Yeah, okay. So it's been a while since I've done a video episode. So what's up, guys? Welcome. I want to talk about being late. Being late is kind of annoying for me. I want to make a quick rant about this, maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe if y'all are lucky, I'll give you 20 minutes, but just enough for your little morning commute to wherever it is that you work, because I know you may like to listen to other podcasts as well. So I want to make this one quick because I have some feelings about being late, very strong ones. We all know the people who were supposed to show up at a certain time and ended up being 15 to 30 minutes late to a party, a dinner, a get together, being late to a meeting when I was scheduled on the calendar like weeks in advance. Also, those small day to day instances where just people run late and are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for being late, or give some excuse to cover for themselves. Not to mention, this is the one that really blows me away, is the people who are the last ones always to get on a plane, to get on a bus, when they're catching a train, the last one to get in the car, the last one to be picked up, or the person that you have to wait for the longest for them to get ready, then hop in the car, then y'all can go wherever you guys were supposed to go. And I don't think people who are late are bad people. I don't think that at all. But this is just out of curiosity, because I have some empathy for those who actually do have a good reason. But I think most times it can be a little bit of BS, in my opinion. It's like they either lost track of time, they got stuck in traffic, they couldn't find parking, they were in another meeting, something family related sometimes. And look, I'm empathetic. I am. But to me, it's just like, come on, you could be on time. Just schedule for it, plan for it in advance. When I was younger, my dad, he always told me that, Neil, beta, we always have to be early. It's better to be early than to be late. So whenever you do something, make sure you're always on time and always early. He doesn't have an accent, but I don't know why I decided to bring out the Indian accent today. But yeah, he always told me to do that, to just be early. Going to a doctor's appointment, I remember we would get ready 15, 30, 45 minutes in advance. And when we showed up to the doctor's office, I'd be like, Dad, I don't want to sit here. I'm bored. Like, why are we always early? Going to basketball games and practice for the 1 year that I did play basketball on a team, my 8th grade year. When we went to those basketball games and practices, he would always make sure that we were on time or early. I would show up to practice 10, 15, 30 minutes early, try to get up shots, stretch, do whatever, just so I'm not late. And I appreciated him for it because he instilled that discipline into me very early on. I know a lot of people don't like being early. They don't care for it. They're just late. But that thing that he has taught me, I am very grateful for in many respects. Because to this day, I'm 22 years old now, just turned 22. I can probably count a handful of times, maybe less than that I was actually late for something important, like an interview, a meeting, I don't know, like a podcast, when I'm interviewing someone. Yeah, I can't remember many times that I was actually late for something. A girlfriend's birthday, a date night, not a girlfriend, my partner, my girlfriend's birthday. I'm usually always on time. Whenever she says, like, hey, come pick me up at this time and then we'll go here at this time, I'm always early. I'm never late. Very rarely. I can maybe remember once or twice where I've been late. I lied. I can't even remember a time where I was late. Maybe she could tell you, but I can't. Always been on time. And over the years, like I said, I've taken great pride in just being early. And I don't care what anyone says about that either. 9 times out of 10, I will be early. So if you need me to be somewhere, if you need me to pick you up from the airport, I will be early and I will be there on time. And if I am late, hopefully I'll have a good reason. And this episode, by the way, it might be referred to by people in the future, and I hope this doesn't give me any bad karma in the future if I am late for someone or something. So in advance, thank you for being patient with me. I apologize in advance if this ever does create a scenario where I do become late for someone who is viewing this. Thank you for being patient. I apologize. But again, out of curiosity, why is it that some people are so punctual with their time while others are not? These are the questions that I just ask myself. Do late people just not care about others? Do they not value themselves enough to care what would happen if they just didn't appear? Does non appearance not matter to them? Like, do they just not care if they weren't there? And with all those questions that come in mind, there are two sides to, I think, people who are late. There is one side that I respect, and the other side of things, not so much. Things that just irk me, things that are like, again, come on, dude, just do better. Here's the good side. The people who are late, what I've realized, they as human beings and just energies and auras are just naturally less stressed human beings. They don't care. They don't care about the outcome of the repercussions that may be there if they are late. If I, let's say, have, I don't know, a get together or a party, or if I ask someone like, "Hey, me and my partner or this group of friends, we're gonna be here at this time." Let's say if it's 6 p.m. and they'll be like, "Okay, cool, we'll be there." And I'm expecting in my mind to them just be there by 6, 5:45, 5:50 rolls around, no one's there. And I'm like, "Okay, where are they?" You shoot them a text and they're just like, "Oh, I'm on my way." Very vague, very normal response. And then another 10, 15 minutes goes by and it's like 6:15, 6:20 rolls around. And then they show up and they're just like, "Oh, yeah, I just had some stuff. And hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, but let's go." So that just like carefreeness. They're so that carelessness of just not caring and still showing up regardless of what other people are going to say or what they're going to think. I admire that because those people are a lot less anxious as well. They're either super prepared or just know they're going to kill it. Like if this example were to be true for someone who's interviewing or someone who is giving a presentation, someone who's about to get on a call or a meeting, people who just like show up and dominate. The people who are built that way, the thought of what happens if they are late, it just doesn't occur to them. It doesn't matter. They'll just like, okay, I'm going to show up. And even if I am 5, 10 minutes late, I'm going to kill it regardless. And I admire that. I admire that a lot. That level of not giving a crap is good in some cases. What I have noticed, and the reason this is considered as like a good thing or something that I do respect, is because when I am early for something, I've made like a little observation. If it is when I'm at a friend's place or I'm going to be meeting new people before an interview, a presentation, a manager's meeting, before a doctor's appointment, before I'm about to interview someone on my podcast, if I'm just like there early waiting for the time to come for that thing to begin and I'm just sitting there, I tend like all these thoughts just start to go into my brain of like, okay, this situation I have to plan it out. And what if they say this? How would I respond to it? And I kind of start to get in my own head, and then the anxiety starts to build up. You get a little anxious. And when you're in the moment, it's just like, okay, no, like you'll be good, you'll be good. But the thought of me being there early and just sitting there pondering and thinking, that's what I think causes all these like negative thoughts and situations to occur. They can also be positive, but for me, a lot of the times, I notice myself getting more anxious the earlier I am because I have this like built up expectation or anticipation of how I expect myself to perform or be in any given situation. So I don't know if that's entirely correlated or related with one another, but I think part of it does have to do, I guess, with me being early. I don't know. So that's the first side. But here's the juicier side. The juicier side, there's not that much meat to it, but I consider this quote unquote the side. Okay. I feel like people who are late regularly automatically show a lack of respect for the other person's time. And that's just my opinion on it. Some people may not take it to that level or take it that personally or that deep. But is it bad if I say that I do? I just don't like it when people are late. I don't. If we set up a time to go somewhere or meet somewhere, it's just common courtesy in my world, in my eyes, to just show up on time or let me know in advance with a good reason. Give me a response that gives me enough context as to why you're not going to be there or why you'll be late or what came in the way. So I'm not just sitting there like, dang, this person just blew me off. They're not respecting my time. They're nick like nitpicking their time with me. Stuff like that. I just have a very low tolerance level with people who are late. I have some tolerance, but it's just not that much. This might change the older I get when, I have more shit on my plate to do. But as of right now, that tolerance is just a little low, a little low. Especially the people that try to give valid excuses. They try to give that valid excuse. And those who say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry a dozen times, hear me out on this. You know what would be a better way to say, you're sorry for being late or acknowledging that you're late? Here's a better response. Hey, thank you for being patient with me or with us. That's literally it. If you show up somewhere late, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm late," don't say sorry. Just say, "Thank you for being patient with me," or "Thank you for being patient with us. We had some other things that we had to take care of before we came over here and met with you guys." That is a lot more of a responsible, respectable answer in my eyes than someone just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I had something to do." To me, it may come off as like it may not be their intention to come off as like arrogant or negative or rude, and they're probably not trying to be, but this is just me how I may be taking this a little bit too deep. I just think a better response would be, "Hey, thank you for being patient with me." That's just a response that I've come to admire. I don't think I've had that experience in my life yet, but I've heard a lot of smart people say it. They say, "Thank you for being patient." That's literally it. And lastly, to wrap this up, if people show up on time, it tells me that you value my time. You value not only mine, you value yours. You're good at managing a busy schedule. You have built my trust. And it's just a lot better to meet someone on time or be at a place on time than to show up late and have it be very awkward. Because those moments of it being awkward, whether you created it or they created it by being late, it's just not worth it. So honestly, just be on time. And those are just a few of my thoughts on being late. I don't like it when people are late, but remember, I do have empathy for the peeps who are. So if you show up late, just say thank you for being patient with me and have an actual valid reason. That's all I ask. As I'm making this, there's a tornado warning in Chicago, which I have, I think only like 2 or 3 times I've been a part of a tornado warning in Chicago. This is actually pretty cool. I don't know if that makes you weird for saying that, but I'm recording this July 12th at 6:32 p.m. So there's a tornado warning. But anyway, you guys don't care. If y'all have any thoughts on this, please let me know. I appreciate it. If you guys made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Share with a friend. Follow us on all socials at the Korea Packs Podcast and leave me a review, 4 or 5 star review. I would appreciate it a ton. If you guys see the question, if you scroll below that says, "What did you think of this episode?" If you have any thoughts, please let me know. You can follow my journey on Instagram, Neil_Patel4. Obviously, this podcast, Neil Patel430 on Twitter, and on TikTok as well, Neil_Patel4 there. Everything is linked below wherever you guys want to follow me. Feel free to go ahead and do that. And like I always say, guys, take care. Tell someone that you love them and go do something nice for someone today because they genuinely deserve it. All right, y'all. See you tomorrow. Peace.